All right, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap, No Filter. I'm your host, Marty G, back at y'all another episode of Running With You. And tonight we going to run it about the top 5 jobs women work to never date. Oh yes, we're going to get into it tonight. We got some careers to unpack tonight. So fellas, if you listening to this and you thinking about dating a girl, you might think twice about getting with her because odds are somebody at that job is coming clap them cheeks, and if y'all already together, if you ain't, see nothing wrong or out the ordinary or suspicious, then go ahead on and just be happy, but if things start to arise, man, go through that phone and get that answer. I'm all for going through phones, instead of waiting months and years down the line to get an answer from somebody or through the grapevine or catch her slipping. Get that answer today and let it be known, what you want to do from that decision. But anyway, let's go ahead on and get into these top 5 jobs. I'm gonna go backwards, so we're gonna go down to number 1. The number 5 spot of a woman that works at this job, and you should never date her. Of course, a stripper. Oh yes. Oh yes. I mean, it's almost like, what is this doing on the list? But contrary to popular belief, a lot of men are out here dating strippers. Now, you might think the men out here dating strippers are simps. You might think the men out here dating strippers are pimps. But no, it's some regular, everyday men. And also, it's some men with status and money dating strippers. But me personally, I just can't take a stripper serious. I can't take you serious going sell dreams to another man at your job while I'm at work at my job and I ain't, doing the same type of profession with women. Like I just can't do that. And you never know what's going on at the club. They gonna always tell you what they want you to hear, but they ain't gonna tell you what they don't want you to hear. They ain't gonna tell you that they really had to, go ahead on and do a little extra for some extra. They ain't gonna tell you that such and such rapper came in the building that night, such and such scammer came in the building that night. They ain't gonna tell you all the propositions that they've been getting that, they gonna keep on the low and might consider. They ain't gonna tell you all that. For all you know, she just made $800 tonight on a slow night, and she playing her part, you know. But if you dating a stripper or any type of woman in sex work, whether that's OnlyFans, whether that's you know, what's another type of sex work besides stripper? Escorting, like some men out here taking escort serious. Some men really believe that they could, get them out that life and make them just stop. Turn the whore into a housewife, if you will. But those men may gotta be with them. I'm gonna go ahead on and get to the number 4 spot. The number 4 spot, almost like strippers, but not quite. In the same industry, but don't do exactly the same position. Oh yes, you see them all the time, bringing out the bottles with the sparkling lights on them, in these nice ass outfits, taking all these pictures, hanging out with this rapper, hanging out with that rapper. Oh yes, bottle girls. Now see, bottle girls, they're a little bit more deceiving. They're a little bit more conniving. They're a little bit more sneaky. They're a little bit more manipulative because it's way more average Joes dating bottle girls than strippers. But the strippers are basically dating the bottom of the barrel niggas or the top notch niggas. But the bottle girls are dating regular dudes. That it's no different than a girl that's a server at a job or a bartender at a job. But these women, they get a lot of attention, because it's almost like if you're a rapper and you see this stripper been with everybody. Some rappers don't care. Some athletes don't care. They just want date turn. Selena Powell is a prime example. But if you see this bottle girl, you might feel like she got some type of, she got less miles on her. if you will. So you probably won't be the only thing that only one that tend to her. But you ain't the only man that think like that. There's a lot of other men think just like you. And that's the reason why the strippers and the bottle girls and the bartenders all getting into it. Because it used to be the strippers getting all the attention. But now bottles girls are getting a lot of attention thanks to social media. Bartenders are getting a lot of attention thanks to social media. The strippers ain't the only it girls no more when it comes to the club scene, especially in this ecosystem. So if you dating a bottle girl and she just going to work and then coming home and telling you, oh, tonight was an average night, but she around all these athletes, Boss Man D'Lo on the flyer, goddamn NBA young boy on the flyer. Like all these guys are coming through these clubs getting served by these bottle girls, and they getting hella attention. You might want to be careful. Let's go down to number 3. The number 3 job that a woman work that you should never date or consider not dating is a nurse. That includes travel nurses. They even worse. Let me explain. I know y'all all seen these studies saying, oh, women who are nurses cheat the most. Women who work in the hospital cheat the most. Why is that? Oh, because they deal with a lot of trauma. They have to deal with a lot of patients. They work long hours. They stressed out, so they get with their work husband proximity, and all in them rooms, it's going down with the patients, with the doctors, with the surgeons, and even the other nurses. Yes, they got other nurses up in there that's males, and they be getting a lot of it. And it ain't much just the nurses, it's the daddy entry people, the janitor, like all these people in that whole hospital are just bumping and grinding, getting with each other, married, single, and the men are the men that women will go for at least, because a lot of those nurses are, unattractive, older, or, maybe gay or something. But the ones who are heterosexual and attractive, it's only so much of them to go around. So they getting all of it. You better ask somebody. If you don't know, if you know, Okay. The travel nurses, that's just like the nurse, but it's almost like they out of town with it. So they could just go out of town, go do something, and you'll never know. They be out of town for what, weeks maybe at a time, probably months at a time. I'm not even sure. But women who travel a lot for work, most untrusted. And me personally, I gotta have my woman home. I want my woman to cook for me. I like to be nurtured. I like to be taken care of. I want the house to be tidy all the time. I want a meal to be cooked when I get home. Her going away for long periods of time, that ain't gonna work for me. And when they go all these different places, best believe they got a boyfriend in all these different places, or they got a trick in all these different places. So that's number 3, the nurse. Let's go to number 2. Shall we carry on to number 2? Amazon. Amazon or any type of warehouse or plant, but we're gonna stick to Amazon just for we're gonna just use Amazon as the example. But any type of warehouse, plant, post office warehouse, those women are literally getting them jobs to be around all these type of niggas. I heard if you're a woman and you looking for a man, you'll find a man on first break if you up in there looking for that. Because they gonna come, whether they married, whether they single, especially if you fresh meat. And it's getting to the point where fresh meat ain't even much all that exciting no more, because it's just so many getting hired that look so good. And I think it's a conspiracy going around. I think whoever doing the hiring is a young dude, because all these Amazon workers are just so happen attractive. All these Amazon workers needing a job. They always got like 1 kid, maybe 2, and they out driving, they out in the warehouse, and it's just like it's just like college and Amazon. Everybody getting with Amazon. If you a man and you 20 years old and your girl 20 years old and y'all got jobs and your girl working Amazon, you best believe Tyrone up in there. Especially while you're young. While you're young, you gonna make mistakes. You gonna experiment. A lot of people feel like you ain't gotta have a woman ain't gotta have a strong bond with a dude to cheat. That's a bullshit ass lie. Women cheat just like men cheat sometimes. You know, they just want some dick. It's as simple as that. They want some outside dick. You know, especially if mad day come. Especially if y'all ain't on good terms. Amazon is a cesspool for cheaters. Amazon is a toxic place for a relationship to try to stay healthy. So if your girl working at Amazon, go through that phone. Go through that phone, brother. Because I'm telling you, and you might not find nothing in the phone because they probably writing each other on Microsoft Teams and emails and all this type of stuff. Snapchats and deleting the stuff. Invisible mode on Instagram. All type of stuff. They probably got some numbers in their calendar from 2 months ago. Like, it's all type of stuff, bro. And one thing about a woman, they know how to cheat very sneaky. They 9 times out of 10, if you find something, she probably wanted you to find it. Now, let me go with the honorable mention before I get to number 1. The honorable mention, any woman who's trying to get in the industry, when it comes to streaming, when it comes to YouTubing, when it comes to TikTok, and that requires attention. Attention requires her getting eyes from a lot of men. When her getting eyes from a lot of men and a lot of views, some of these dudes gonna be up in stature, and eventually she's gonna have to collab with these men, and that's gonna put her in situations that's not gonna be conducive to your relationship. So I would advise not to take these women seriously, you know, especially for certain content. Like if she's trying to thirst trap for certain content, she's just trying to advertise to the next bidder. Now, if she's just trying to do wholesome family content, if she's trying to do couples content, that might be a little different. You know, that might be a little different. You might could get away with that. You know, if she got a channel where she just trying to grow a farm and all that, but she's not thirst and trapping like Khalees, you know, she might get away with that. It just all depends on what her content is and how she's going about it. But for the most part, most of these women, streamers, too accessible. Just too accessible. You don't want your girl too accessible. Let's go ahead on and get into the number 1. I think y'all know what it is. Let me let y'all write down in the comment section. Let me give y'all a chance to figure out what it is. All right. The number 1 job that you should never take a woman serious if they work this job. Flight attendant. Either flight attendant or working in the airport. Those women who are flight attendants, their job is to literally leave all the time for work and be in another city or another country. If you don't think these women got contacts of different men when they go to certain cities, you must be out your rabbit ass mind. And I got some beachfront property I would like to sell you. These women, the world is their oyster. Life is just a whole big experience for them. Like, they go out to these different cities, they have rendezvous, they have one night stands, they have, guys that's on call. Trust me, I done dealt with a couple of them, and some of them got boyfriends, some of them are just single, and they're gonna perpetually be single, and a lot of them don't have kids. So they gonna just always, and they so used to their lifestyle, it's hard for a man to come in and accept that. And when it's hard to come in and accept that, they perpetually single. And what happens when you're perpetually single? Your body count rises. And what happens when your body count rises? It's more harder for you to pair bond with somebody. So it's kind of sad. I kind of feel sorry for them. But when it comes to being a flight attendant, a lot of them have a TikTok, a lot of them have an Instagram. They're taking all these pictures lavishly on, different countries, different beaches, different clubs, different fine dining, riding in first class. I mean, when you in that lifestyle, it becomes addicting, and it just is what it is. And if you can't get on that program, then they're just gonna see it as such. Like, but those women, bro, and it's not only the people that they're meeting when they go to these places. It's also the pilots. The pilots are no different than the nurses when the nurses are getting with the doctors and the surgeons. The pilots are married. The pilots got a lot of money. The pilots got money to blow. Like when they go to these hotels, when they go to these different cities, sometimes they got to be in these cities for like a day or two before they could come back home. And they go out to bars with each other. They be in the same hotels. Like that proximity, bro. Proximity is gonna bring people together one way or another. And all it takes her to be in an argument with her boyfriend, all it takes for her to be bad terms with her boyfriend, or to be down on her luck financially for whatever reason. Because even though women make good money, they spend it as soon as they get it. So it ain't hard for them to get put in a pickle. And who's could be there to save the day? Oh, Brad the pilot. Brad the pilot that's married for 10 years, 3 kids. Got a nice house, nice 401k. So all I'm saying is, I'm not saying all these jobs, you should stay away from completely. If you meet your girl and y'all got a good vibe, go ahead on and take a shot at love. But I'm saying is, these are the jobs that's most likely can lead to infidelity. These are the jobs that's most likely can be inconducive to your relationship being healthy. Now, that's not the case for everyone. Some people can make it work, but you gotta be willing to make sacrifices. You gotta be willing to compromise. You gotta be willing to forgive, And like I say, man, anybody could cheat. If you a cheater, you a cheater. It don't matter if you a flight attendant, a nurse, or if you a teacher, or if you a dentist. If you a cheater, plain and simple, you're gonna cheat. If you're not a cheater at all, plain and simple, you're not gonna cheat. But these are the jobs, or the probability it happening is more likely. So until then, man, just like the video. If you like the video, go ahead on and subscribe if you haven't. If you would like to see me react to anything or speak on anything, hit up the comment section or hit up the email, nocapnofilter7@gmail.com. Until next time, I'm out. Hope you enjoyed the show.